Hello, hello. Today is the 13th of November, 2020, and we're going to read on voting reform. And if that is something, I want to look in a more positive direction, in a more hopeful direction, away from the Trump machine that is a drain. I think that, once he's gone, people are going to kind of not know what to do with themselves, because it's been basically constant, the hypervigilance that we've been living under. And I think for some people, transitioning from that state to a more relaxed state is going to be difficult. And I know people have been already commenting that they won't feel comfortable until Biden and Harris are in office, and I can understand that. So we're just going to use a little Palo Santo here. And again, if you use these kinds of things, make sure you're getting it from a sustainable source. I'm clearing my energy and the room and you. Here you go. All that anxiety of the last 4 years. Okay. We're going to look at voting reform. Some for you. Put my intention going there. All right. I'm going to use the Dark Wood Tarot deck by Sasha Graham again. Only the second time I've used it on camera. It's a beautiful deck. I really highly suggest that if you're interested in tarot decks, it's a good one to get. It comes with a nice hefty, but I have small hands. Beautiful. It's really good quality book comes along with it. It's beautiful, as you can see. So it's worth the price. Put it on your Christmas list. All right. And so we're going to smudge that deck. Okay. Going to smudge the deck. Clear it of any and residual energy. Bless it. And I ask my ancestors and my spiritual helpers and the Creator to please guide and help me to read accurately. Okay. Ooh, I got that good going good. Palo Santo, I love it because you don't have to. A little goes a long way. Oh, what I was saying about that. Make sure you get it also from a source that isn't, like I was saying, sustainable source. And I will, and I have to do that today after I do these readings. I will be putting up a list of places that I have used, and of various accoutrements, the tarot, everything mostly. I do look at Etsy a lot, but there's also some other sources that are from Instagram and stuff, so I will be including them. All right, so we're going to look at voting reform. And I ask the Spirit of the Tarot if there will be significant and much needed voting reform coming with new administration. Just want to see what you want to share with us about that topic. I'm asking Spirit of the Tarot, the universe, America, with Biden and Harris, will we really get a new situation with voting reform? Because it needs it badly. Trump has done a lot of damage. Okay, let's take a look. We get the Five of Swords here in the past. And this is, you know, straight up cruelty. If you can see, it's kind of hard to make out sometimes. There we go. Thank you, autofocus. This is, to me, the voter. Definitely suppression, repression, the tactics. I would say the tarot's even saying what they've done is cruel. They've tied one, basically the saying of tying one hand behind your back. They've made it harder for people, just out of sheer spite, to win. And there is an element of sadism in there. It's not just, hey, I want to win so bad. I'm not really thinking about. They know this causes people harm. They don't care. They never will care. And that's the past. And this is the Nine of Pentacles. This is independence, well-being, and being healthy, being comfortable. Now, I wouldn't say we have this at the present, but I say that it is more what we're going to go toward. I feel like this is the present. And the past. The Wheel of Fortune comes in, so it's letting us know it's going to change, and it's going to change for the better. We get the Sun, so yes, we will get really significant reform with voting, and I think a lot of other things, a lot of other reform. Because that Wheel of Fortune to me and that Sun feels very expansive. And that it isn't just going to turn a little bit and if you will, and go in a slight direction. It's going to go 360. So that makes me feel like what Trump has undone will be worked on to correct, amend, throw out, whatever needs doing, whatever would be best to serve the people. I do see that. And it does show the cruelty and this repression. It will be a thing more of the past as we go into the future with this new government. It is going to be a very important new government, because it's going to have to look at redressing, as I've been saying, a lot of issues of race, of equality. A lot of us minorities who feel like invisible. I'm disabled. I feel like the rest of the world really doesn't see us, doesn't really care. Though they say they do, and there has been efforts now with the ADA laws, even still, Far too many people don't really implement those laws correctly. They try to cut corners, and it makes it hard for us to be more visible out in the community. A talk for another day, but a day that is coming. So this is voter reform, yes. And I feel like it won't be the only thing that is reformed. I feel that I need to say these laws that Trump has brought in that has been cruel and just based on pure cruelty, that's bear. Yes, I do have a bear outside my door. Bear cat, don't do that. No, Grandma's busy. Anyway, Five of Swords. So, I think that these laws that have been difficult for various minorities now have a real chance, and not just a real chance, they will get changed. They will be on the table and tended to for change or sweeping change with this Wheel of Fortune and the star. Okay? So that is on voter reform. It's they are beautiful cards. I feel like that is accurate. And I feel good about that. Yeah, you know, I feel like what I drew was, and I don't usually read reverse cards, but I drew a reversed Two of Swords, which is interesting because look at the depiction. Even though this card is reversed, you wouldn't necessarily think so because it bears a reflection if it were upright. And here's this King of Wands. To me, this is Trump. And he is just, I think, despite the fact that he doesn't want to go, he's going to have to go. So he's just not going to be able to stall out. And I frankly do think he probably won't, as I have said before, I really do think he probably won't be back after the Christmas holidays. Some people say after Thanksgiving they could see him just staying put. I don't know. I think there's his ego, but he is just as big as his cowardice. So let's take a look, shall we? Let me get focused. All right. See if I can get any more clarity on this issue. Will Trump stay at his residence after Thanksgiving? Or will he go back to Washington? Will Trump stay home, basically, after Thanksgiving and not return to the White House? Will Trump, after Thanksgiving, stay out of office? Will he stay home? Will he not return? Will Trump be returning to the White House after Thanksgiving? Okay. bear. You are distracting me. The devil. Okay. I'm going to read in pairs. The Knight of Swords. Well, that certainly describes how he is behaving. Destructive, chaotic. I tend to think this energy feels like it wants, he's still angry, and he wants to inflict more harm. So whatever way would inflict more harm that will satisfy his personal lashing out, be satisfactory to him, will dictate whether he goes or stays, if he thinks that it's going to cause us more pain or problem. I tend to think he's going to go back, okay? Because just think, he invites the law, definitely then, if he's not going to return to office, if he abandons office. So I believe his tactic would make more sense, that he would try to stay in office. But let's just see. So it does show him being angry and knee-jerk reaction, wants to lash out, will be lashing out, doesn't care, sadistic. The whole point and purpose of him now is just to be a wrecking ball. In his eyes, he's angry. I get Judgment. And look at that, the Nine of Wands. That almost looks like jail. But I don't want to be too over the top and dramatic and say, oh, it's got to be jail. But yeah, it kind of looks like jail, especially coming with Judgment, some form of... I think he'll be gearing up to face Judgment and to face legal matters. Because this is about judgment about his own behavior and choices. And he stands, this card is usually one of defense. But let me just take a peek at what, because it's a little bit different, although not entirely. I mean, it's got the boundary, it's got the but look at the finger of the, I don't know if you can see that. It's beckoning, like, come on, come here, come get me. Just nasty. The energy here is just nasty. I just can't decide if this is the American public saying, we've had enough of you. Just try something. Just try it. Because we will have you facing legal charges. That's what that energy feels like too. But sometimes if I just, let me just take a peek. I love this depiction. Hold on just a moment. I gotta look for a wand as well. I'm looking for. Well, just as I suspected, it was wise for me to look in this book that accompanies it, because it's so apropos and has depth when we listen to what the author of this deck describes with these cards. Now, if you know anything, if you don't, that's okay, about the tarot, you know, the devil often shows up with Trump. And now he is in, I keep getting that with him now. He's now into that, more into that phase. So it is dangerous. He's angry. But let me just read you a little bit from the Dark Wood Tarot. And it is a magnificent, it's a glossy, really nice deck. But listen to this. The devil stands as the terrifying quote-unquote other. As a cultural scapegoat, the devil wants to keep you enslaved, angry, and scared, because this is where he draws power. He thrives on addiction, negative energy, and extreme control. The devil is called the dweller on the threshold, because once he is slayed and integrated, infinite possibilities appear. Slay the dweller to set yourself free, just as the Page of Swords is about to do. Well, we do have the Knight of Swords, but he is going to, I believe, no matter what he chooses, going to be facing justice. Justice will be coming for him. And it's all his own choice. This placation to his ego and to seeking to avoid criminal prosecution and charges that are awaiting him, and especially with the New York Attorney General, Letitia James. So, you know, he's just trying to avoid that and her and all a manner of more litigation that is going to come crashing down on him. But he wanted to be the devil. And this is him wanting to lash out, wanting to act like this. Make no mistake about it. It's his choice, all of it. But we know that. We know that. The other thing that is significant with this deck is, and they refer to this, again, this deals with a threshold as well, with the boundary here. They refer to this card as the it's the Nine of Wands, but in this deck they refer to it as clown crossing. I don't know if you can really see, but this individual, he is wearing clown makeup. He is a clown. Now, a lot of different cultures will kind of use the clown in a sacred way to teach you some lessons. But he's beckoning. He wants something. So, I'll read you what it is, what I feel like it is meaning here. First off, I think Trump is up to fight the charges against him, for sure. He is going to become a ball of anger. Well, he already was, but like, it's going to consume him, would be the best way to put it. Truly consume him. Enraged. But with regard, there's a trickster element to this clown. And that's what I wanted to convey, especially in this deck particularly. I have never seen it in any other deck, but this deck is using the trickster through the clown, and they're calling it crown crossing. The clown is the trickster archetype who operates outside of society. Many fear clowns because who knows what they might do. Are they charming, evil to the bone? Can we ever really know a person? Clown makeup is skin deep. Menacing clowns speak to the human mask. The fence reflects a barrier that has been transcended. It is stepping out into the darkness and pushing forward into unknown territory. 9 is the number of wish fulfillment. You are getting what you came for. Is it meeting your expectations? Is it all you wished? Now, if this were positively dignified, and it's not, it would mean that you're finding like a second win, strength you didn't know you had, and you're breaking barriers, moving out of your comfort zone. But as it is negatively aspected, it does not mean that. And it is just, he will have and be on full display in ugliness. And we will judge him. He will have justice coming for him. Because the shadow side of the 9 of wands is saying, what behavior do you hide from others? What are you hiding from yourself with this card? Because again, we're dealing a little different deck. We're dealing with, they're bringing in a trickster, clown, where the mask is employed, and it is a mask that is ill-dignified. So it's saying there are secrets, that he's hidden stuff, and he will be judged for it. We're going to learn about it. Sooner, maybe, rather than later. But it looks to me like he will probably seek to retain his presence in the White House, I think, to avoid trying to throw up a roadblock, an obstacle to facing justice before he would have to. So I think he's going to stay put until he is nothing short of escorted out. Do I think he will wait? I think I have a feeling, because he's a coward, he will seek to avoid anybody being able to escort him out. He's going to want it all on his own terms. So I think at some point when he has, during the bit of time that he can vacate, I think he will leave it probably to the last moment that he can. And then he'll reluctantly go blaming and inciting, I think, violence and that carry on. But we'll see. That's my gut, okay? We have the 2 of Pentacles. Should I stay or should I go now? And this also is like 2 terms. I think he's trying to bully and seek to hold 2 terms. He doesn't want to relinquish power. And we also get the 2 of Wands. 2 2s. So here we're dealing with a power dynamic. And he has choices. The King of Wands, there he is being wandy and on fire. And he will be judged. He falls under the Judgment card. And the Ace of Pentacles. New beginning. New start. I believe he will reluctantly relinquish that power. But I think that he is going to throw up every means of that he can, ridiculous or not, just to delay him facing justice. But he will. It's, right there by him. It's like, I get the feeling that justice is actually going to be, he's got eyes on him. Let me put it this way. Because intelligence doesn't like him. And although my readings are all alleged for entertainment purposes only, I firmly believe that our intelligence does not like him, doesn't like what he's doing. They're not stupid. They know that he's trying to wreck them. And he's going to have to concede. I don't see him wanting to. But I do see him, I feel like this is a concession. He will have to give over. A lot of emotion around it. Big crybaby. And not happy about it. The Four of Cups. There's also an aspect of waiting. So I do think he will go back into the White House. I do, actually. Because I think he wants to try whatever, even though it is a absurd notion that he's going to be able to retain power and whatever his fantasy is, his bubble will get burst formally in January once Biden comes into office. And the weight that he has in the interim, he is not going to, I think, actually pull the thing where he would, who knows what the guy, right? I can understand, because I thought, maybe he would do that. Could he do that? Would he do that? Certainly sounds cowardly like. But I think he is so scared of having to face consequences legally that he will go back to the White House after the holidays. He will try to hold and stay in place with regard to the White House as long as he can until he can't. And he won't like it. And he's going to be extra nasty and destructive. A poor sport, to say the least. Never was a president. We just have a grown, a man that is physically grown, but who who mentally and emotionally is so stunted and so dysfunctional. He's a sociopath and a narcissist. He is going to want to do us harm, to do us damage. But I don't want you to be afraid, because we're going to deal with him and he will get handled. Okay? So I don't think that he will be staying. in his residence after the holidays, I think he will go back in office because he really doesn't want the law being able to lay hands on him that quickly. But they will once he has to. They will. So I will leave you with that.